Monday Health Minutes, sponsored by Valley Health.
Hi, I'm Melanie Shafer. Welcome to Monday Health Minutes. Have you ever heard of alpha-gal syndrome? It's a type of food allergy that can be triggered by ticks. And it can be very serious and cause serious reactions. So to explain what alpha-gal is, how it's diagnosed, how you can protect yourself, we're talking with Valley Health nurse practitioner Jason Ashworth. Thanks so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you.
Let's start off with what is alpha-gal? A lot of people may not have heard of it.
Well, alpha-gal is basically a sugar molecule that is found in almost all mammals, but not in humans. It's transmitted through a tick bite is one of the vectors or one of the ways it can be spread. And in particularly, like the Lone Star tick is the biggest culprit for spreading the alpha-gal.
Do people often know they've been bitten, or do they start experiencing the symptoms of alpha-gal? And what are those symptoms?
The period ranges. The average, if you get bit by a alpha-gal carrying tick, then symptoms can be delayed anywhere from 2 to 3 months. Typical range is about 4 to 6 weeks before a person may fully develop the alpha-gal syndrome and start developing symptomatic responses or a reaction to it after ingesting meat.
Now, you yourself had the alpha-gal. So what was your experience like?
Well, I have, and to answer part of your previous question is sometimes you don't know that you have it. In May a couple years ago, I noticed that I had a bug bite, didn't see a tick. Typical bug bite, itched for a day or two and went away. And then fast forward a few weeks, I had some beef stroganoff. That was probably 4 or 5 in the evening. About 9 o'clock that night, broke out into hives and a rash from my knees to my waist. Totally caught me off guard. I thought it may be like the typical looking at, is there any changes in detergent, anything that's been changed, having some reaction to it. I took some Benadryl and some Pepcid AC and it resolved, and I didn't think any more about it at the time. After that, I had 2 more subsequent reactions, still not knowing what was causing them. The third one, and both of them, all the reactions involved hives, extreme itchiness. Then the third one, when it occurred, I went with the Benadryl, Pepcid AC, and it didn't improve, and it started getting more diffuse throughout my body, going into my lower extremities, arms, abdomen. And then I noticed about an hour after taking the medication that although I wasn't having at the time breathing difficulties, I started developing tightness in my throat where I could get difficulty to swallow.
Is it only reactive to red meat, or do other things cause that kind of reaction when you have alpha-gal?
Alpha-gal, it's because of that particular molecule, is found mostly in red meat. Primarily beef, pork, and lamb. Venison, rabbit are the 5 primary ones. The first 3 is what they test for. There's also medications, so that's something if you are diagnosed with alpha-gal to look out certain medications, or especially capsules, anything containing gelatin.
So how is it diagnosed? How do they define that you have it?
The symptoms range. They go back and forth. Most people, in my experience, I've many patients that have alpha-gal. I've experienced or seen people that have nothing but GI symptoms, whether it's vomiting, diarrhea, nausea. And then you get the other side where you get the hives, the rashes, and then moving in towards anaphylaxis.
So is there a blood test that defines whether you have alpha-gal, or is it just based on symptoms and history?
No, once you go through, a thorough physical and history, then we can test for it, especially if there are a known tick bite. So we want to look at, it's called, basically you're testing for alpha-gal, which is the IgE test, blood test specific. So it breaks it down. It'll do your IgE, which is basically it's measuring your body's immune response. And then you look at IgE specific antibodies to beef, pork, and lamb.
Gotcha.
So if those come back positive, then it's pretty certain that you have alpha-gal.
As far as treatment goes, can you get better from this, and how do they treat it?
Well, there really is no known treatment. The best way is to focus on staying away from red meat, and definitely not getting bit by a tick again. Try to prevent that, and there's different ways to do it. Usually the DEET, with the bug spray with DEET in it, is effective at keeping ticks away, but you definitely want to take measures to prevent another tick bite or re-exposing yourself to the allergen like the meat. So trying to avoid those things, and there's alternatives that are out there.
Thank you so much for sharing your
my
story and
pleasure.
your experience. I hope you're feeling better. And I'm sorry you
Feeling
can't
better.
eat cheeseburgers.
Me too. And pork butts.
And pork butts, all of that. All right, Jason, thank you so much. I sure appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for checking in on Monday Health Minutes.